What is up, YouTube? I am Chris from Street Ballet. I'm the other Chris. This is how you do an oil change on a 2006 Ford Mustang GT. And what I'm going to do is kind of break it down and the importance of doing your oil changes at a timely fashion, at a mileage rate, and then also how is it healthy for your car. But this is the Mustang, the new member to the family, on top of the S14, the S13. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and enjoy the video. This is everything you're going to need for a proper oil change. If you're working with a lower car, you're going to want to have something around that you can just drive up on. A piece of 2x4 works, or in our case we have a little speed bump that we drive up on, because even with a low profile jack, it is hard to get under it, especially being at a downhill where we're at. When you're jacking something up, you want to jack it from the pinch welds. Once you have the car jacked up, it's not going anywhere, you're going to want to pop the hood. In this case, in a 2006 Mustang, on the 4.6 V8, you have the oil cap here instead of like your traditional motors. While I'll show you on the S13, usually you'll find your oil caps right here on the motor. So some cars are very different. That's why I encourage you to look it up on other vehicles. It's going to be a 17 to get your oil drain plug off. I can't find a 1/2-inch ratchet, so we're gonna go with Ugga Dugga. That is going to be your oil drain plug. Oh shit, there's your oil flowing into your catch can. So first, you take off the oil cap on your motor. Second, you take out oil drain plug on your oil pan into your oil catch can. Yeah, right. God damn, I've smashed this fucking radiator down here. After you let all the fluids drain, you're gonna come and put your oil plug back on here, because when you go to put the fluid back in, you don't want it all to fall out. So what I like to do when I remove the oil filter, I like to put holes in it. So whenever I remove it, all the oil doesn't go everywhere, and it relieves the pressure on it so you can take it off with your hands. It wouldn't be a car project if you didn't have to go to O'Reilly's and get another fucking part, because the oil filter is not coming off. I thought I was big pimp. Yeah. Okay, now I got the old oil filter off. What you're going to do, you take the new oil, and then you're going to pour a little bit into the oil filter, not too much, and then you're going to take it and then put it around the ring of your oil filter. You never want to put your oil filter into your car without oil in it, because when you start up your car, you don't want it to be dry. Put it onto the threads. Alright, so once you get it there, you want to hand tighten it. Nothing tighter than just hand tighten. And then your oil filter is on. Now, after putting your oil filter back onto your car and your oil drain plug onto the car, lower it back on the ground, because you no longer need it up. You want your car level. Now you have your funnel into where you put your oil. 6 quarts of oil. Put your oil cap back on. Tighten that bad boy down, and then I always recommend running your car and letting it warm up. Make sure you check your levels, and you'll be good. So the difference between an older car and then a newer car being made now, if you're going to use full synthetic on a low mileage vehicle, you can push around 5,000 to 75,000 miles for every oil change you do. And then if you have an older car with high mileage or even lower mileage, you really want to stay on that 3,000 to 5,000 range. Like newer vehicles that have low mileage, you can run full synthetic, and it says you can actually run about 15,000 miles before an oil change. I wouldn't recommend that. I think best practice is like either you're going to do 3 months without an oil change if like you're not commuting as much, or every 5,000 to 75,000 miles from like around, I'd say, 2015 and above with lower mileage, running full synthetic. And if you have a higher mileage vehicle, even within that range, I would recommend running high mileage oils, and make sure the oil specific is best for your car. You can run thicker oil for your vehicles than it recommends. Especially I recommend that for older vehicles. I would not recommend using thinner oils. 5W20 is going to be a little bit thinner at higher operating temperatures in your engine than it would be if you had 5W30. That's why I recommend a little bit thicker oil for whatever your usage is. If you're on the track, I would recommend running a thicker oil just because of the high temperatures you're going to be performing through it, rather than pushing thinner oil. Even though it's recommended, it's an older vehicle. Follow it at your own discretion, and make sure you actually read up on your vehicle and know kind of the ins and outs, because it's something you're driving. Be cautious, take my knowledge and then add yours to it. Don't just fucking take my word for it. Always do your extra research. Just don't take one person's word for anything. Definitely do your research on whatever the specifics you're doing, especially with a vehicle, because everything's different.